granted. It's an air suspension. It lifts up, it fills the shocks with air, and then it's like a normal ride height, like a regular motorcycle. And it's for look, right? So you don't need a kickstand. Like this orange one has a kickstand. So, you know, this comes from the car side. Coincidentally, we have a couple of Lowrider Car Club members here tonight that came out to support the event. They have some Lowrider cars that he's referencing that actually drive around Raleigh, if you haven't seen that yet. Pink Cadillac. So that's just one of the things that make these bikes special is they run these special suspensions so they don't have to sit tilted when they stop, but they can still be rideable. You know, what's interesting is this is a bike show, but this culture of motorcycle customizing, they ride these bikes, the customers ride these bikes like every day. Like to get the white bike, we had to get her another bike, right? Because she would not let us borrow it because she rides it every day. And I can tell because this bike had an issue when we unloaded it because the parts are worn from riding and it's not just pretty to look at. So because of that, they're working on the bikes constantly because obviously you rock chips. And if you look at these paint jobs, they're perfect. But this bike on the end, he already put on Facebook, as soon as I get it back from Cam, I'm gonna redo it. Like that's just all the time, right? You just redid your Cadillac. So it's just part of the culture that's what happens and that's how they get them to look like this. Of course, you've noticed the engraving, right? So that's real hand engraved parts. This bike has $60,000 worth of it on it, El Chapo on the end. It is owned by the Guzman family. Put that together. Don't mess it up, please. I don't want to explain it. But it took years for that to get finished. So this bike was in planning for years to get that look, and it's pretty amazing. So lots of craftsmanship goes into these bikes. Obviously the paint is huge. We're gonna have some of the painters here over time to talk about what they do. You can see some of the pinstriping up on the video. And it's pretty impressive. There are hours of paint in these bikes. I mean, these are tape lines, individually taped. And I think these painters are mad scientists because they plan this design out without being able to see it until it's finished. And when they paint almost backwards, they tape it all, then they paint a layer and they peel the tape. They paint a layer and they peel the tape. And they see this finished product in that wad of tape. And it's really crazy that they're able to do that. So
tell them about the lace painting too, because most people may not even know about the lace painting.
So this gentleman here is a painter that we use at the dealership pretty regularly. His name is Kyle Morley out of New Jersey, and he's pretty famous for his lowrider style paint. And I think the doily he used came from Michaels that he painted through to get the lace look. So they literally buy the doily, cut it up, and spray through it to get that lace design on the paint jobs.
You really have to look at these bikes individually and to see the artistry because, for example, the one right there where there's no front fender, obviously it's down, it's been lowered just a little bit, but that nacelle, that light, which flows beautifully into the tank and then all the way into the saddlebags, came from a 38 Chevrolet. And the bike is lowered so the giant front wheel is up underneath, but these just don't look like motorcycles that you would see. What I love about them is not only are they artistic to the nth degree, but they really are functional. Although I talked to all the builders to get some of the text that you can read here, and one of them said, you know, my bike is anything but practical. But then